is up, ladies and gentlemen? Cord here, bringing you a little tutorial for the auction house today on Diablo 3. As you can see, I've got my little level 56 wizard here, but it does not matter which character I use. I'm going to go ahead and log on to some level 1 that I have never even played before. You go ahead and get into this screen when you first log in. You go to the auction house, and as you can see, you come up with a lot of different options. As of right now, I'm pretty broke since I just sunk a bunch into my crafting, which I will be updating you guys with in another video. Now, the auction house can be pretty confusing. You've got some tabs up here on top of having all of these little brackets on the left. What we're going to do is break it down a little easier for us. Now, on this front page where they've got recommended items, as far as I can tell, this is just what Blizzard feels needs to be on the front for you, that you need a little improvement on. You can just highlight over it and see what the magic abilities are. Over here we've got the buyout, bid, and time left tab. Now, outside of that, let's go ahead and start with your personal auctions. Now, as you can see, I do have 10 auctions up selling right now. 10 is the maximum that you can be selling at any given time. They do not allow you to sell anymore. Actually, right up here, selling 9 of 10. So I can actually put up an auction, which is great. I can show you guys how that works as well. In here, we've got completed. You can see purchased items. You can see, sold. All of them have order IDs. You can go back through and see what's going on for the past couple of days with your character. And if you do have completed items, they'll show up right here on the left-hand side. And you just click them, and it will say send a stash. The money also will say send a stash, but of course it'll just go towards your balance. Now let's go into the search function here. This is where it gets kind of confusing for people. One, the equipment, it comes up and you're like, whoa, what just happened? Let's go ahead, and I'm on the level 1 character, but let's look for something on my wizard. I just open up this bracket. It lets me kind of gauge what I want to be looking for. And in here we've got two-handed, offhand, one-hand, armor, and then your follower stuff. I'm going to go ahead and go to the armor. In this second little bracket, we've got all of the lists of what I can wear on my wizard. We've got the wizard hat down there, which is my special thing. I believe the cloak is for the demon hunter, the mighty belts are for barbarians, spirit stone is for monks, and the voodoo mask is, of course, for the voodoo man, witch doctor. Right down here is probably the most important section. The legendary or set item, which I haven't really gotten into a whole lot at this point, but if you have a specific set item that you want to find, you can just type in the name and it'll come up. Max buyout. Now that is my favorite function to use. As you can see, I've got 18,000 gold. Let's go ahead and hit search. Now, on the right-hand side here, you can see all of these things are way too expensive for me at this point, and I'm just sitting there like, oh, well, I could go through pages and pages of things trying to find something that I'm capable of buying, or I can go down to max buyout, simply click in 18,000, hit search again, and bam, nothing will come up that goes over 18,000 on your buyout. Let's go ahead and click the little buyout thing that puts all of the most expensive on the top, or we can click it again and bring up all of the cheapest from the bottom. So as you can see, all of these are 100. Click it again. All of these are 18,000 because it will not allow it to go past that number if I put that in. And as you can see, you can generally find some pretty good stuff, even though it's cheap, or relatively cheap, I suppose, as long as you know how to use this little tool. Now let's go into the sell area. As you can see, Triggs, my level 1 demon hunter, has nothing in his inventory, so that doesn't really help us. We've got a few items in my stash here, quite a few gems and whatnot. But let's say I want something on a different character. Oh, well, I might have to log into him. Nope, don't have to do that at all. Right here on the right-hand side, there's a list of all your characters. You just click on your wizard or whatever your guy is, and it'll give you a full list of what's in the inventory. Very convenient, very easy to use. And let's go ahead and sell an item here. Go ahead and put this weapon up that I no longer have a use for. So we're going to go ahead and sell this Death Omen, which is a decent weapon, 293 DPS, two-hander at level 51. I used it for quite a while. Starting price they want to say is 619. Obviously, I'm not going to sell it for that much. So let's go ahead and say the bid price, I generally set a little lower. We'll put it at like 15,000. And then I'll put the buyout at 32,500. Now, what this number here does for you is it allows players to bid up over the 2 days that it will be posted. So they can start at 15,000 and just wait for it to clear. So, if it's a lower level character, let's say level 30 or so, and they say, hey, in 2 days I might be level 51. I'm going to go ahead and bid on this and see if I can get it for cheaper. Great. Or they can simply get it right now and pay twice the amount. Let's go ahead and create this auction, which will take me to 10 of 10. Now right here it'll say you have 5 minutes to cancel your auction. That means that if I go, oh no, buyer, seller's remorse, I can click on the auction and I have 5 minutes to hit that little cancel button. Otherwise it does lock in for the full 2-day period. You will not be able to remove it until it has expired, which is unfortunate for some things. And once again, once your auctions are completed, you just simply hit completed, send a stash, whatever you want to do. And that, my friends, is the breakdown of the auction house for gear. Now, I want to take you into the crafting, which seems to be a little hard part for people. If you go into crafting and dyes, you have here, you can put in the exact level of the crafting material that you'd like to see, and that'll bring up exactly what material is in there. Now, you do have to put in a quantity you want. So if I want 100 of these, I have to put in quantity 100. And as you can see, quantity 100, 600 per unit, and I could buy that out for 60,000, assuming I had the money to do it. Let's go ahead and back up here. Pages and recipes. Now this is where you can actually get into getting plans for your crafting, if you're so looking for them on the auction house. You can put in exactly what artisan level you are at. I believe I'm at Resplendent? I don't know. I might be Magnificent. I'm not sure. But anyways, even if you don't want to mess with that, you can go into quality, rare, legendary, set. Rare, of course, being the blue, the yellows. Legendary being the orange items, and sets being the lime greens that are, set items. They'll have a group of items in order to create set bonuses. You can also go into, exactly what slot you're looking for, or down here on the filter, they just have some plans listed that you're capable of getting. Periodically, I'll just go in here and hit search, and as you can see, for Born's Aegis, I can't see what it is, but there is one up here for 1,000,000 gold, and if you had the money, you could go ahead and buy that out and teach it to your blacksmith and start crafting those as you pleased and, equipping or selling them. So that's a little breakdown. It's the same thing for jeweler designs. You can come in here and try to see if people have put stuff up, and I haven't seen anything up yet, but it'll tell you, average last trades 456,000, so that's probably about what you're going to be looking at in terms of price. Obviously, it'll fluctuate a little bit. If you're looking for specific stuff in order to level it, or these are basically drops that you get in the Nightmare Hell and Inferno difficulty. So if I'm looking for a tome of blacksmithing, once again, you will have to put a quantity in there, or else this grays out, and you'll no longer be able to search for it. So if I, let's say, need 10 of these tomes of blacksmithing, I hit 10, one comes up for, 10, quantity 10, price per unit 500, 5,000 total, and if I wanted to buy it, I could. In fact, I'm just going to go ahead and see if there's one up that's cheap, so I can show you how. There we go, 650. I'm going to go ahead and buy that out, so I can show you exactly what happens here. Tome of Blacksmithing buyout accepted. Let's go into the completed, and right here, as you can see, you can go ahead and click send a stash, and there you go. Now when I go into my cell, I have just acquired one more Tome of Blacksmithing. So that's a little breakdown of the auction house, folks. If you like the video, make sure you hit that like button. I will bring you a currency when the real money auction house starts up. I'll bring you a little breakdown of that as well. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and keep subscribing and watching as I break down Diablo 3 for you. Cord out.